Hey everybody, it's Monster back again with Opus Gaming, and I'm here today to bring you a little bit of tournament play actually. This is going to be Purple Kaido with the new updated film cards versus Red Zoro on the left side. And the Red Zoro deck is going to be updated just kind of post Treasure Cup and all of that stuff, looking at how the meta turned out and just making some adjustments for this player's aggressive play style. So as we start up here, both of us are going to go for a mulligan, and we did an evens odds roll there. So I really like the evens odds roll. There's no way that you roll more than one time, and I think it's just the most efficient way to decide games. 50-50 chance, right? So going into the start of this game, you know that I'm searching for the Onigashima. The red player is searching for a rush starter and a searcher starter. So while we shuffle up, if you guys have been seeing my content, you guys already know we're on our road to our first 1K subscribers, and we're actually going to be doing a pretty big giveaway at 1K. So when we hit 500 subscribers, I'm going to do my first reveal for what we're doing for some of the prizes and some of the stuff that we're giving away. So if you've been seeing what I'm doing, you like what I'm doing, drop a sub down below. We've been trying to increase the quality as we go as well. So drop a sub, drop a like. If you guys see anything, drop a comment down below. I really try to interact with all my comments and everything like that. So just let me know. As we start the game off, we're gonna go Dawn on the purple player side, no searcher, and then just tap 2 on the red player side, play out the VV vanilla. Pretty good start on the red player. Here for purple, I want to see the Onigashima. I don't think I have it because I haven't swung yet, so deciding on if we're swinging on turn 1 or if we're leaving them at 5 life to start the game out. But I think we want to get them down on life because we can handle the red onslaught pretty well. You're going to see us kind of toddle between whether or not we're going to play a blocker this turn, I think is what we're deciding on, or if we're going to play Sasaki, and we're going to swing 5 a leader. And then, yep, we're going to play the 2K counter. 2K counters are extremely important on keeping Red Zoro Rush especially down from attacking you a lot and keeping them down from getting value on their swings. But at the end of the day, if you don't have a ramper and you have some of your top end, which I think I did have a good bit of top end here, you really do want to get that ramp no matter what. So we can get rid of a dead card with the Sasaki if we have it. If everything in our hand has counter, that makes it a lot harder. But taking early damage here, trying to find the cards, and then he gets his searcher. So the searcher is definitely going to find him a rush character, I'm assuming. I'm surprised that he doesn't put a Dawn on his leader here, but maybe he's not going to be attacking out this turn. He's just going to develop his board. Yep, developing the board, tap 3. Gives me a little bit of breathing room here, and I can start setting up my board. With Sasaki, oh wait, actually Sasaki won't die because Nico pops a 3K and Sasaki is 4K, so that's nice. We're going to immediately attach a Dawn, and I think I searched my hand, and I think I actually picked the wrong card to discard. Not so much that I need this card going forward, but I think I made a decision in my head, and then when I looked at my hand again, I forgot what I decided on. So I'm redeciding on how much I want to push, because I want to push some damage this turn to get him down low, looking at the cards I do have in hand and how I want to finish the game. So pushing 7K here, even though I think it's the first life or the second life here, is actually pretty important. So we're going to swing 7, activate effect, discard the king here, and ramp a Dawn to rest. He's going to take the 7, and then we're just going to go 7 again. We don't have anything very good to develop our board, so we're going to use all of our Dawn to push damage here, and I think that's important to do at this stage of the game. We do pull 2 cards out of his hand, a 2K and a 1K counter, so he stays at 3 life for here. But honestly, that's pretty good because we are keeping him down. So we just gave him 2 cards in hand. We just took 2 cards in hand away from him. So now that he's going to be attacking, we can do a little bit more of the value game as well by attacking into some of his characters and setting up for pushing that damage to put him down to 2. With the new purple film Kaido, you really do 2 is the magic number that you want to get to for your finisher. So with the red player being on 6 Dawn on this turn, an active Robin and the VV, he can be pretty aggressive here. So, and I'm already on 4 life. Attaching 1 Dawn right onto the Zoro leader, and then swinging 6K into Sasaki. That's the magic number that you want to swing into a 4K because it's going to cost me too many resources to protect. So, and then swinging 5K with no Dawn attached onto with the Nico Robin. I actually take it here, which I probably want to go down to 3 life and then start defending, so that makes a lot of sense. I don't want to just waste resources for the sake of wasting resources. So 5K, we're going to block with a blocker from hand. to counter, and then we're also going to block the 6k swing from the leader with a 2k counter, so we also stay at 3 life like our opponent. The only difference in the resource exchange there is that all of my exchanges were 1 card from hand, and we had to pull 2 cards from hand from him for 1 attack, and he was forced to take another. Looking at our life here, we are at 8 Dawn, so we're going to swing 6k at the rested Vivi, which is a 4k, just like he swung 6 into our 4. And then we're actually going to tap 7 here and play out the OP01 King. Dawn -2 here to pop the Nico Robin and the standing 4k character. And the reason we did that instead of playing the Douglas Bullet that we had in hand is just because we do want to push that extra damage here, as well as getting him down to 2 cleanly before we start going into our bullet and then our Kaido. So by boarding the king, we can burn some resources out of our opponent, as well as kind of force him in a position where he has to take a damage on the next turn while we're still setting up. So we're not too far behind, because on this next turn we go to 8, so we'll swing 5 at lead to start turn, tap 8 and play Douglas Bullet. But our opponent on his turn is going to swing 5 at our leader. Looking at, he has 8 Dawn as well. We counter, 2k out. We'll see how many rush attacks he can produce. He has so many Dawn. I'm sure he can get some really big attacks off, so I'm assuming we'll end this turn on 2 or maybe even 1 life. So instead of developing a board of pushing a lot of rush attacks, we see a clear of our king, which is okay, and a board development with an Beppo, which is very interesting here. Beppo is an interesting card, especially in Zoro. Let's see if he's going to be able to make use of it. This turn, we already mapped out what we'll do. We'll swing 5k at lead for sure, because we just want our opponent to get down to either 2 life or just really low cards in hand, and then Douglas Bullet is going to come out here. Going back over to our opponent's side of the board, he has a slightly developed board. He's going up to his 10 Dawn finally. We have 2 possible attackers in the Nami and the Beppo, as well as Rush Sanji for sure in hand. So let's see how we utilize this Dawn. 10 Dawn on this turn, so it's going to be an aggressive turn. With me on 3 life, though, I think I've been defending properly and not giving up too much in the resource battle. Dropping 2 2k counters here is really rough for the Zoro player, because you're giving up a lot of defense, but he was going to be forced to give those up, and I was going to end up keeping a king if he didn't. So it's hard to decide what was the best line of action on that last turn going into this turn. He's taking some time thinking about what he needs to do here. We're going to swing 6, and it's going to get countered out of right away. Really not wanting to take damage, just in case our opponent can't get out of some of our attacks on the next turn. We want some life to kind of fall back on, just so that we can mount a second attack even on low Dawn, because it gets scary going down to, I believe, 1 Dawn with a combo like this with no Onigashima. That's another thing, we never saw Onigashima on this in this game. We just saw a little bit of early ramp, but it was a very clear picture of how we want to finish the game and how much time we had. So playing the defense and sequencing yourself correctly is kind of important here. Red player is really thinking about what he needs to do here, how he wants to aggress. I think that he is seeing that he's in a rough spot being at 2 life, because Douglas Bullet just does have a double attack. So I'm sure he's deciding which character he wants to swing with first, only having, I believe he has 2 or 3 cards in hand though, so at the end of the day your routes are limited. There's only so many that you can go down. So I tell a lot of players at this point, it's kind of especially a lot of newer players at this point, you just decide, right, which route you're gonna go. If you don't know what's better, kind of toggling between A and B for too long and just looking at everything can kind of get to a point where it's just like not as worth it, right? So just kind of deciding what the route to go with is kind of sometimes the better route, because then you end up learning pretty quickly if that's not the correct way. We see the Sanji come down along with the Brook, which is another 2k counter coming out of hand to attach onto the Sanji. So we're going just full on attack. I honestly think I would have held the 2k counters in hand, a lot of it, especially going into a turn like this, but we shall see. So this is going to be the tap 9 with Kaido. Right, Dawn -5. And then we're gonna pop the Sanji, activate the Douglas bullet, just rest down 2 cards to give it double attack, but it's just gonna be a raw 10k swing with double attack. Does he have enough count? Nope, doesn't have enough counter, so he's forced to take both of them. And it looks like he did pick up a 2k counter, but not a counter on the other card. And then the 11k from Kaido is just enough to wrap it out there. So you're gonna see the fist bump there to end the game. I think the Zoro player did play it really cleanly, but focus a little bit too much on being an aggressive on the late game to kind of wrap up the game. Especially with me on 1 life, I think that you do kind of have to play a little bit of the defense game. Thinking about it, if he would have held the 3 2k counters though in hand, it wouldn't have been enough, unless, well, I guess if you add on, right, that last 2k counter he got on life, but I'm not sure what else he had in hand, so as far as counter. But that's going to wrap up the first match that I have posted for Film Kaido versus Red Zoro. Let me know what you guys think down below, but this is going to be Jamonster with Opus Gaming, and I'm out. Take care.